Hey everybody. Sometimes the best adventures are found off the beaten path. Join me as I discover a beautiful paradise that I think you might want to try out, and that's coming up right after this. Welcome back to Traveling with Justin. I am Justin, and yes, today we're going to be talking about a hidden gem, a great paradise, and that paradise is called Trunk Bay. Now, let me set a little background on Trunk Bay. All right, so in 2020, February of 2020, before the world shut down, we went on a cruise. Out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, we boarded the Regal Princess and we headed off to the Eastern Caribbean. First off was Princess Cay, or Princess Keys. That's Princess's private island, and yes, it is not anything compared to Coco Cay. I have never been to Coco Cay, but we're not talking about that right now. But yeah, we went to the Princess Keys, their private island there. And then we made our way to St. Martin, where we went to Airport Beach. That was so fun. It was just so fun watching those airplanes come in right over your head. I can talk about that more later. But the one that I'm talking about is when we went to St. Thomas. Okay? St. Thomas is an island there in the Caribbean. And we decided to go off the beaten path. Now, we only had a limited time in the port, and we'll talk about that here. But I am one who worries about almost everything. Are we going to make it back to the ship? What time is local time? What time is the ship time? I have all these things going through my head, and I'm like, okay, what can we do? And my wife was like, let's go to Trunk Bay. I'm like, okay, Trunk Bay, never heard of it. Where's it at? Oh, it's on St. John. St. Thomas, St. John. Different islands. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But we did it. And let me explain to you the adventure, the process, and let me show you what Trunk Bay is all about. All right, so it was a beautiful day there in St. Thomas. We got off the Regal Princess. See, there's the Regal Princess right there in the background. It was a nice ship. It was, the biggest one I've been on so far. And we made our way to this sidewalk right here, this crosswalk. And this is where we picked up our taxi to go over to the Red Hook Ferry Dock. Okay, and here are the prices for that. So yeah, the Red Hook Ferry Dock, it costs $13 a person. Or if you had two or more, it was $10 a person. Now, yeah, they had different rates on here for like Megan's Beach, downtown Crown, Bay Marina, and things like that. But we were going to the ferry. Now, I do apologize. I did not get any pictures of the ferry port or anything like that, or the prices there. I do apologize. I was new to all this stuff. And so, beautiful scenery as we were going along the way. I don't know if that guy was like mad because I was taking a picture or not. Oh well, be grumpy if he wants. But it was a nice little ride. St. Thomas and St. John are right there, close by each other, so it wasn't that long of a ride. I think maybe 30 minutes. I cannot remember, but it was a beautiful, beautiful view of going there. And of course, they had the St. John Experience app. They didn't ask me to throw this in there. I'm just plugging it because if you guys want to go to St. John's, download this and you guys can see what St. John's is all about. Now, here is Trunk Bay. We arrived on St. John's. We took a shuttle, and this is from the shuttle bus up on top. That looks like it's a beautiful, beautiful place to visit. Now, it is a national park, a Virgin Islands National Park. There is no lifeguard on duty, and you can call 911, but if you're from a cell phone, you have to call a different number. So you can stop and read that if you want. There I am, just sitting there on the beach. We did rent some chairs. They had chairs, and they had some snorkel gear that was available for rent. And we just happened to rent chairs, so I didn't want to sit in the sand. I'm sorry. But here is a look at just the beauty around it. Just the water coming in, the nice ocean, and just the beach. I mean, it was just a nice area to go and take a look at. It was so nice, so calm, so peaceful. It was a warm day there in February. I was thinking it to be, cold. No, it wasn't cold. It was the Caribbean in February. This was shot on my Osmo Pocket. I had just picked it up before this trip, and so I was playing around with it, trying to get it familiar with it. So, sorry, I'm not a professional photographer or videographer. Working on that. But as you can see, nice sand beaches, people standing there just enjoying the view. Got my feet, my wife is right next to me, and she didn't really want her picture in here, but I'll throw it on towards the end, just just for fun. Okay, so right over here, these islands, they have some good spots for snorkeling, and yeah, snorkeling is a good thing. This is my friend Brett. I don't know if he'll enjoy that picture of him or not, but he went snorkeling, and he said it was really super fun. I did not go snorkeling. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, they had some really cool reefs to go snorkel at, and here is a picture of me and my wife. So there you go. So yeah, that is basically Trump Bay in a nutshell. Okay, I really enjoyed my time there at Trunk Bay. The water was so nice. The beach was nice. And we actually made it back to the ship in time for sail away. Okay, actually, we made it back before sail away, so I was happy. Okay, but yes, if you're ever on St. Thomas on a cruise ship and you have the time, I would go over to St. John's and go to Trunk Bay. Yes, there's a lot of things that could have happened. We could have got to Trunk Bay, and then we're like, okay, we got to go, but there's no shuttle service, no taxis or nothing there. When we went there was a shuttle service there waiting for people to go back to the ferry, because I think a lot of people was from the cruise ship that went there. So yeah, that was nice, because there could be no shuttle service. You would have to call, and it's like, okay, we got an hour and a half till we got 2 hours to get back, and it takes them 45 minutes to get there. It takes us 45 minutes to get back to the ship, and we're screwed over. Okay, so yeah, I am glad that there was a taxi there, a shuttle bus that took us back. The ferry ride was really super nice. It was nice, relaxing, open air. I really like that. And then yeah, we just had a fun time in Trunk Bay. If you go to St. Thomas, check out Trunk Bay. All right, guys, but that is it for today. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate it. And also hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notifications so you'll get notified anytime I upload a new video. I usually talk about my travel adventures here on Traveling with Justin. However, the last adventure I went on, I've been to Alaska last September. I've been to St. George last October. I've been to Las Vegas last November. But I haven't been out venturing very much this year because I don't have a job, and to venture you have to have money. So if you know anyone who's looking for a great person like me, I work in IT, so let me know. All right. So on this channel, I'll be talking about adventures, packing tips, and things along that line of things until I can get on adventures. I'm also doing a tour of Utah series here on this channel to just get you familiar with Utah and what it has to offer, because the Olympics are coming back in 2034, and there's more to Utah than Park City, ski resorts, Salt Lake City, and the Utah Jazz. Oh, and the Mammoth, RSL Soccer. Yeah, there's more to Utah than just that. There's beauty all around, okay? So that is what Traveling Justin's all about. And until the next one, you guys, I will see you later. Bye.